Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World video. In today's video we're revisiting the original 90s era of Jurassic during the Jurassic Park trilogy. And most importantly, we'll be revisiting one of Jurassic's greatest predators, the Spinosaurus. If you like the Spinosaurus and you're excited for today's video, be sure to go ahead and press that like button, and don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all of the news coming from the Jurassic franchise. And also, you can stay up to date here with everything to do with the lore of Jurassic. Today, we delve deep into the lore of the Spinosaurus. A slightly confusing history, the Spinosaurus has been in a total of 3 islands throughout its time in Jurassic. But what exactly happened to it after the events of 2001's Jurassic Park 3? Well, today we're discussing exactly that. So enjoy today's video of what happened to the Spinosaurus after Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 released back in the year of 2001 and was officially the first Jurassic movie that released whilst I was alive. I mean, I was only 2 months old, but I'll take it. While it may not have been everyone's cup of tea, it for sure has a place in my heart as one of my very few comfort movies. It's currently ranked as the worst movie in the franchise, standing at a measly 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, putting it down in 6th place unfortunately. But besides those ratings, a lot of people do still enjoy the movie. And it's safe to say that a lot of people enjoyed a main factor from this movie. Jurassic Park 3 introduced the largest carnivorous dinosaur to grace the Jurassic Saga, this being the Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus first appeared in 2001, where it was hit with an entire plane that held Alan Grant, Billy Brennan, and many other people such as the Kirbys and 3 personnel in Nash, Cooper, and Udesky. Cooper was the first to meet his demise by the Spinosaurus, as he was caught lacking after he missed out on the aircraft attempting to leave Isla Sorna. Unfortunately, after he was snapped up by the Spinosaurus, he was the reason for the plane crash by luring the Spinosaurus onto the runway. Nash later soon fell victim to the Spinosaurus, whereas Udesky died at the hands of the male velociraptors. The Spinosaurus, traumatized by the events of being hit by an aeroplane, continued to chase down the characters for the entirety of the movie. Eventually, it was lured away after Alan Grant shot a flare into the water that soon caught fire. The Spinosaurus was spooked and ran back into the wilderness of Site B. So, what exactly happened to him after this moment in Jurassic Park 3? Well, the lore surrounding the Spinosaurus is a slightly tricky one to understand, as it's understood that it was practically absent from the franchise ever since that moment in Jurassic Park 3. But, to the best of our knowledge, what exactly happened to it? Well, in 2015, during the events of Camp Cretaceous Season 1, our first acknowledgement of the Spinosaurus is accessed ever since Jurassic Park 3 in the timeline. In Season 1, Brooklyn secretly enters Dr. Wu's private laboratory, where we see files accessed for the Spinosaurus. Now, this Spinosaurus' skeletal system is slightly different than to the one we see in Jurassic Park 3, suggesting that this isn't the same Spinosaurus. There are also some leaked biosyn documents that were posted on the Dino Tracker website that gave us some more information regarding the Spinosaurus and how it was a specified project called Project Regenesis. So we do know that it was an intended project, and we also know that biosyn were made aware of these reports sometime after the events of Jurassic Park 3. A Spinosaurus skeleton was also seen on Main Street during Jurassic World, but again, that one doesn't match the Spinosaurus to what we see in Jurassic Park 3. So, with some very poor leads and an Easter egg here and there, 14 years later after Jurassic Park 3, where was it? Well, according to a report by the Dinosaur Protection Group, also known as the DPG, they posted a list of dinosaurs in 2018 that were left extinct on Isla Nublar after their investigations of the island. Now, there are some species on this list that showed us some new dinosaurs into canon that we've never seen before, but also some dinosaurs that weren't mentioned, such as the Monolophosaurus and Tyrannosaurus, which we knew existed on Isla Nublar. I mean, they could have just been missed out as secret species that were never meant to be made public in the first place. But as for the Spinosaurus, it actually appeared on this list, suggesting that the Spinosaurus was taken to Isla Nublar at some point in time. There's a major fan theory going about that the Spinosaurus actually existed within Paddock 10. Paddock 9 was the Tyrannosaurus, and Paddock 11 was the Indominus Rex. So, understandably, fans thought that Paddock 10 could have been the home to the Spinosaurus. With the DPG's located dinosaur list on Isla Nublar, there's a good chance that the Spinosaurus could have actually been within Paddock 10. But what's the most interesting thing about this list is that it mentions that the Spinosaurus went extinct, when we clearly know that's not the case. So, with all of the evidence we have for the Spinosaurus on Isla Nublar, was this a second Spinosaurus that we never got to see? The next bit of information might have you thinking just that. We now move into the year of 2016, where the Spinosaurus' next on-screen appearance is made within Camp Cretaceous Seasons 4 and 5, which take place simultaneously from one another. Camp Cretaceous was always intended to be a canonical spin-off show to the main portion of the movies to slightly explain some things that the movies either didn't or could not throughout their time. I've covered stuff like that quite recently on the channel if you wish to learn a little bit more, but, for instance, we learn how Lewis Dodson acquired the original Barbasol can from Jurassic Park that we see in Jurassic World Dominion. This came via Camp Cretaceous Season 5. So, the canonical status of Camp Cretaceous is very valid, and is also our next on-screen appearance for the Spinosaurus. But, how do we know that this is the same one as to what we saw in Jurassic Park 3? Well, simple enough. It was confirmed by the executive producer of Camp Cretaceous that this was always pitched to them by Universal and the movie producers that this would be the same Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. But when we discuss in-universe canonically, we were told that a lot of dinosaurs that were on Manta Island were transported from Isla Sorna, that being the Tyrannosaurus, Dilophosaurus and many more, but also the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus finally got his long-awaited rematch to the Tyrannosaurus Rex after 15 years since its original battle in 2001, whereas we had to wait a total of around 11 years to see this rematch. Ultimately, this rematch came in not one, but two fights with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Whilst there was no battle to the death unfortunately, it's safe to say that the Spinosaurus won the first battle, but the Tyrannosaurus won the second, making it currently a scoreline of 2-1 to the Spinosaurus via on-screen fights between these two super predators. But after he lost his battle to the Tyrannosaurus, the Spinosaurus scurried away back into the wilderness of Manta Island, never to be seen again. Now, Manta Island still have residents on that island, with Dr. May Turner and Ben Pincus deciding to stay there every now and then, as we saw them in the 2018 time jump at the end of Season 5. But there was no word of the Spinosaurus. So, what happened to it? Well, at the end of Jurassic Park 3, it was originally supposed to die off in the final battle to the Velociraptors, kind of mimicking what happened at the end of Jurassic Park, but this time, the big predator dies off. We kind of get to see a nice Easter egg nod towards this in the recent Jurassic World Evolution 2 video game during the Jurassic Park 3 Chaos Theory mode. The Spinosaurus was also intended to have appeared in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, as its original plan was to battle Rexy whilst the explosions of the volcano were going off. This was later swapped out in favour for the Carnivorous vs Sinoceratops battle, as the directors felt like this would have seemed like too much was going on if they were to include this long-awaited rematch. And finally, it was originally supposed to be part of the final battle of Jurassic World Dominion in very, and I do mean very, early stages of Jurassic World Dominion's early script. Not to mention, it also had a deleted appearance on the Dino Tracker website too. So unfortunately, not much is known as to the whereabouts of this formidable creature, but thanks to My Life with Monsters on Instagram, he was able to provide me a mock-up of what we could have seen in Jurassic World Dominion should the Spinosaurus have appeared in the movie. It was rumoured that its original showing on Dino Tracker's website was sat with it on a highway somewhere on American soil. But other than that, we don't officially know what happened to the creature after the events of Camp Cretaceous Season 5 that take place in 2016. It's currently a lost soul, and we don't even know if it's still alive, which is quite interesting actually, as I was recently told by some reliable sources of mine that there was an earlier plan to confirm that the original Spinosaurus was killed off behind the scenes, and that if they were going to show another one, it would have been a brand new Spinosaurus altogether. Now, that would actually explain why Biosyn have all of these Project Regenesis documents in the current day to what we saw on the Dino Tracker website. But overall, the Spinosaurus' story after Jurassic Park 3 is a slightly confusing one. He was either transported from Isla Sorna to Isla Nublar and lived out some of his days in Paddock 10, or he was taken to Manticorp Island after the many years on Isla Sorna. Then it battled a couple of Rexes and, just like his last scene in Jurassic Park 3, scurried away into the wilderness to never be seen again. It's got a confusing lore with Isla Sorna, Nublar and Manticorp Island, that for me can only be explained by saying and confirming that there were two Spinosauruses all along. One was left on Isla Sorna and later acquired by Manticorp, and the other one was created by Dr. Wu in Jurassic World, which would explain why it appeared on his computer screen, why it was on the DPG list, and why we didn't learn of what was inside Paddock 10. That to me makes so much more sense. But until we know more, sadly, the Spinosaurus will remain as a big mystery for Jurassic fans. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and share it around with your friends who may be interested to learn more about the lore of Jurassic. This is the best place to be to stay up to date with all of the news coming from the Jurassic franchise, so if that piques your interest, don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you're new. But most importantly, all I ask from you guys today is to make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.